Hey, it's Monday night. It's the last Monday of July. Do you even know who I am? Hi, guys. It's just Jax. Guys, I've been around for 4 months and figured I would just change it up a little bit tonight. But there's a reason I'm changing it up. So, how are you guys? I am so excited that you're here. Gosh, 4 months, guys. I have been doing this for 4 months. And some days I feel like I just started, and other times it feels like it's been years. So, figured I'd be in incognito a little bit today because of a special reason. So, first of all, if you're a longtime Just Jax watcher or commenter, thank you. I wouldn't be doing this if I was just talking to myself. So, thank you, Melissa, for being here. Thank you, Christy, for being here. We are going to have fun tonight. And if any of you guys want to join the stage in just a few minutes, I will be putting the link on if you want to join me on stage. But don't come in. Tonight isn't a pitch zone. Tonight isn't a, hey, we're going to talk to you for 10 minutes. It's about asking questions that you've wanted to ask me, questions that you want to know that maybe other people need the information on, and maybe you haven't had time to actually learn or how to support them or anything. So I am dressed up tonight, not because I want to be, because it's super hot in Michigan. And these things, guys, wigs, I just got to tell you, anybody that wears one, I love you. Holy smokes, can it be miserable? But we had our work fundraiser on Saturday. Some of you know what I do during the day. Some of you guys only know my persona on LinkedIn, which is not a long-haired blonde, that's for sure. I'm all about mental wellness hype, no matter where I am, day job, evening, working on shows, posting comment, or anything like that. But my day job is running a nonprofit that does super intense work. Guys, we are doing stuff. Oh my gosh, Charles is actually on in Kenya. Look at you. You came when I look crazy. I love it. Okay, so I work with people that are in conflict or people that are committing crimes or had crimes happen to them. It's not a warm and fuzzy kind of a discussion most times. It gets pretty intense. A lot of people don't even know about our agency unless they've had to experience one of our programs. They were court ordered, they were going through a program that they needed to come to us. And it's unfortunate because we've been around 31 years. And if you can come to our agency, to help resolve some issues before you get to the court, it could help you out a lot. So we had our fundraiser. This is only the second time we have had a large fundraiser since COVID. And guys, it was really nice. So I kind of did a few teasers and everything like, hey, what do you think I'm going to be? Because the name of the fundraiser is called Through the Decades. We're trying to highlight whatever decade's important to you, whether it's the 20s, the 50s, whether it's today, because this is a decade, guys. Last year I went in the 50s and I had a black wig on and people couldn't even tell who I was. It was hilarious. This time, are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? There I am, all my glory. Everything was exposed, guys. I was Disco Jackie, probably circa 1970s. Guys, that was probably a couple years before I was born, but there I am, kind of in a whole different persona, but it got people talking. And that's what we want. We want people to talk about stuff to reduce the stigma, to get people to understand why it's important to talk about the tough stuff, why it's so important to focus on reducing crime and conflict. And guys, we had a beautiful night. I mean, it was super beautiful. I was super excited about it. Very nervous, as always. It's very nervous when you put a lot of money into an event that you don't know if you're going to make even what you paid, let alone raise funds. But we are a nonprofit and we needed some money. So what we were able to do is we were able to have a great party that had people of all walks of life. We had staff and their families, we had board members, we had volunteers, we had instructors that come do programming with us. We had a participant. We had people that have had lived experience, people that were former participants and mentors. We had people that their business donated or sponsored our event and they just gave them away free tickets that didn't even know what we were about. And we all got along and we were all happy and it was a beautiful thing. I love when people understand that we are better when we work together, no matter how different we are, no matter if we're dressed up and we're having fun while we're doing it, but we're getting the message out. So I want to thank everybody that is here. I am going to start getting into questions in just a minute, but I wanted to share just one more thing. I wanted to share a little bit about my friend William. So if you guys have been a long time watcher of Just Jax, he was in, oh gosh, I think he was the fourth episode. I think he was still in the first month of Just Jax. William, oh gosh, I can't say enough about him. And those of you that were here remember him, and so loved, learning about his experience. And he barely even scratched the surface when he was here. So we do want to get him back up. But last year, he was like our surprise guest performer slash speaker at our fundraiser. Nobody knew it. We didn't have his name on the list or anything. And what we ended up doing is we did we don't talk a long time at these events because people are there to have fun while they're hearing about the information. But William came out, he shared a bit of his life story, and he dropped down some poetry slam last year. So he was the star of the show. This year, elevated, my dear friend, he was the MC of our event. Guys, MC, that means he had all the power in the world to make the night go super great, not super great. And he rocked it. So I was so excited about that. So I am going to go backstage and I am going to put the link in the comments. So anybody that wants to come on stage to ask questions, there's not a ton of people writing stuff, not a ton of people that have been sending in questions, but I do have a list of some things I've had. So make sure to reach out to people that you think might want to either ask a question. Most of my background is in mental health. It's in criminal justice. It's in restorative justice, reentry for jail and prison, victimization, bullying, juvenile justice. And then there's travel and so much else, guys. I volunteer with animals. I have tattoos. You can ask me just about anything. There's a couple topics that are prohibited. And if you're going to come on to be not appropriate, just don't even waste our time, okay? Because nobody needs that. We're here to have some fun and we're here to possibly learn something. Usually on Just Jackson Guests, I have one, if not two guests that come on. You get to ask them some questions, get to learn from them. I always have 3 questions that I want to ask, but I'm going to go off stage and I'm going to actually play 2 little clips of William talking at our event because it was just so powerful. And I know you guys want to see his, how would I word it? Maybe, how should I say this? I don't want to say upgrade because he's always been upgraded in my view, but his elevation, maybe. He was elevated and he deserves to be elevated. Okay, here he comes. Are you ready? Are you ready? Oops, wrong one. You saw that already. Okay. Here we are. Ready? Okay, here comes William.
That or the other, but it's not too many people that really works to be a servant. I believe that's one of the concepts that we've lost in a lot of our leadership, is servant leadership. How best can I contribute and serve the people? I'm about to introduce somebody who, when I met, I was just like, a lot to deal with. Wait a minute, caught me off guard with that one. But it was her passion, her tenacity, her desire to leave a great impact and mark on the world that was so contagious. When you put yourself around people who loves people and who sees the best in people, who goes above and beyond to extract whatever human potential that you possess for you to be the greatest version of you that you can be, you can't do nothing but love that person. Jackie Hallberg is that person. Watching over me and giving me the feedback and insight that I needed to make a lot of the decisions that I needed to make. Her transparency, her sincerity, her authenticity is awe-inspiring. And I'm lucky to be able to call her a colleague, but I'm even more lucky to be able to call her my friend. So without further ado, I would like to introduce you to a rock star. She might have you like this sometime, but please show some love for Jackie Hall.
I seriously did not give him a script. Well, I gave him a script of like what time different things were supposed to be talked about, like when dinner is and when the silent auction ends. And we just said, hey, introduce Jackie. Never expected that, guys. We make impact on people that we don't even realize. And that's one of the beauties in this world, is that sometimes we do some not so good stuff. Sometimes we've hurt other people. They might have been our family member. Maybe they were somebody that was, maybe they were somebody that we went to school with. Maybe they were a former colleague, or maybe they're a current colleague, guys. Maybe it's our neighbor. Maybe it's a complete stranger that we did something to, whether it was intentional or not intentional. That makes an impact on other people. It really has a ripple, and it makes other people's lives possibly more difficult. Maybe it's harder for them to trust. Maybe it's harder for them to heal from other things that might have even been going on in them. But guys, when we do good things, the same thing happens. We ripple out. Say maybe you're not even having the best day, but you know what? There's somebody right behind you. You decide to hold the door open for you. Guess what? The person behind you might have had even a worse day than you did, and you holding that door open, saying good morning, being nice. Oh my gosh, that might have been the nicest thing that's happened to that human all day. Your good deeds ripple out, even if you don't know about it, even if nobody's told you lately. I'm telling you now, people notice. Sometimes people just don't know how to thank you, or they don't know how to reach out to you. So hearing that from William, like, oh, I was all in my feels and everything. It's like, what do you do? Do you cry? Do you thank them? Do you do a jumping jack? Because nobody wanted to see that. I had like big old shoes on, and I had bell bottoms and the whole work. So I just felt it. I felt it. And I thanked him. And then I watched the video over again yesterday, and I'm just like, wow, this man can move mountains. And I was so thankful that I was part of that. So thank you guys for letting me entertain you with that. I was not doing that just to kind of like, ooh, look at all the good things he said about me. What I was doing was letting you know that we have impact. He tells me all the time, Jackie, I love you. Thank you for all you do. You do great stuff. But to hear those words spoken in front of a room full of people, we had judges in that room. We had people that have had really rough lives in that room, and he was willing to share that. So I love him so much. I hope you have a William in your life, and I hope that you find the time to make yourself be a William to somebody else, because people need to hear the good stuff. We hear all the icky stuff, guys, don't we? We hear all the stress. We hear when people are having bad days. We hear when there's icky stuff going on in people's lives, but we need the good stuff too. All right, I'm getting to some questions. So we got a couple things. Fun thing. Miss Nick had asked, why did the chicken cross the road? I know she was joking, but I got some real answer for that. If any of you guys want to put your answers to any of these questions in the comments, I would love to see if we align or don't align, or how that goes. I do want to thank some of you guys for being here, Erin and Chasen and Melissa, and of course, Charles that's here from Kenya, and Lisa that's here from Trinidad. Oh, Nick, you're here, and I'm just about ready to answer your question. So many great people. Gregory's here, of course. Jay got in. Noni's here. She's got to do team replay because that girl is in a whole different time zone. Chase and Charito from the Philippines. We love seeing other countries here, especially because we know this time zone is kind of crazy. Dr. Roy, oh my gosh, so good to see you. It's been a minute. And of course, Christy, my dear friend, love seeing all of you guys here. Okay, so Nick said, why did the chicken cross the road? And if you know me, you probably know my answer. I want to know what your answer is, but my thought is, the chicken crossed the road to be around supportive, safer people, because he knew if he or she was going to stay on the other side, bad stuff was going to go down. And you deserve to be around supportive people. You deserve to be around good places. You deserve to thrive and flap those little wings when you want to. So that's why the chicken crossed the road. Just Jack's answer for sure. All right. Miss Melissa said, if I could live in any decade, which would I choose? Oh my goodness. I feel super blessed being in the life I'm in, because I was able to meet grandparents. I was able to meet great grandparents. I was able to have my mom and dad in my life for quite some time. I was able to grow up without technology, which means I was in nature all the time. I think it really helped my ADHD, because if I wouldn't have been physically active nonstop during the summers or right after school, on the weekends, I probably would have had a whole different life. I probably could have had school issues, learning issues, behavior issues, all that kind of stuff. Being outside made a huge difference. So I love that I had that, but I love being able to be around technology. I love being around technology that elevates people and that makes people's lives come closer together. Guys, we have 6 countries already in the house just tonight. Think about globally how many people you talk to from different countries all the time. We wouldn't get this if it wasn't for technology. But there's an evil, dark side to technology as well. And I feel very compelled to try to work on that and to really help people out. Today in my group, in my day job, We had somebody that they used a phone and they took a very inappropriate picture of somebody, and they could have been facing some major juvenile detention time for what they did. They ended up getting sent to my group instead. And, the kids, some of them do it very intentionally to hurt somebody, but they think it's only going to hurt for 1 second, but it trickles out, and it literally can be a lifetime of damage when it stays on the internet, when it stays in people's minds. When you see an image, it's different than hearing about something. And so I work every day to try to combat some of that violence and the bullying and the harassment that goes on. But I like being able to be in this kind of a world. So I love all of my decades that I've lived in. Guys, I am 51 years old. I have been in a few decades. So I am excited to see what the next decade brings and see where it is. If you guys could be in any decade, where would you guys want to be? Is there someplace special that you would have loved to have been or wanted to go to or anything like that? I also want to get to, if somebody is willing to tag, I don't know if she would have got my message or not, but I had a really powerful question last week, and it was from Natalie Thomas. She asked some really cool stuff. Last week we had Leslie Thomas and Keenan Hudson, two completely different stories, but totally important and amazing. Keenan talked reentry and his life being incarcerated at the age of 15. Leslie talked about some of her books and being able to help in the Vietnam era. I mean, it was so powerful. It was amazing. And Natalie asked us all three of us, super powerful questions. So I want to get to her question, but I haven't seen her show up yet. So I'm hoping she can show, and I want to wait on her question until then, just in case. And Charles, I would love to come to Kenya too. I need to get to all the continents. I know there's so much beauty in Africa. There's so much beauty everywhere. And that's one thing I want to encourage you guys. Some of you know I love to travel, and I've been to all 50 states. Some of us grew up without the internet, so we couldn't fact check it or figure it out on ourselves. We grew up thinking other places were scary, that you didn't want to go there. You would be unsafe, especially if you looked a certain way or you didn't have a certain religion or gender was different or something like that. Every place has its beauty. Every place has its stress, and you deserve to be in a place that can be as safe as possible for you. Okay. Oh, speaking of traveling, Miss Melissa, what are your biggest pet peeves? Oh, I should probably be putting these on, shouldn't I? So y'all know what I'm saying. What are your biggest pet peeves when traveling with others? Oh my gosh, I love this one. Why do I ask? Why do you think she's asking? Anybody have a guess why Melissa would want to know what pet peeves I have when traveling with others? Okay, my earrings are all messed up, but I got danglies on tonight because this is what I wore on Saturday. I did wear a different jumpsuit. It wasn't the stripes, but Miss Melissa and I, if you guys don't know, we got something cooking for next week. And so she will be my guest on Just Jack. So make sure you're here next week. It's always 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Monday. So some of you in those different countries and other time zones, sorry, you got to adjust, always can catch us on replay. This is always on LinkedIn and it's always on YouTube. I only put it on my personal Facebook if I have personal people that are on there that's their only option to watch it. So you can always catch the replay and let us know what you think and let us know if you had any suggestions. One of my biggest pet peeves, it's not people snoring. It is people that don't turn off their cell phone when they fall asleep and they can sleep right through it and I can't. That drives me crazy. So when I travel with people, because guys, I travel solo mostly. I have been to 26 out of the 50 states by myself. I've been on 2 very long cruises by myself. Once you travel by yourself, your senses, your hearing, your sight, your smell, even your taste, it amplifies. And so when I hear noises, I hear noises. And don't be letting your kids blow up your phone and your best friend and your Facebook post and this, and you not even talk to them and you're sleeping through it and I can't sleep. So when I travel with other people, I try really hard to have separate bedrooms or be in a different room or something like that. Not because I don't love them or because I'm nervous around them, but because you know what, you do you, boo. Okay. That way we don't have any issues like that. Another real big pet peeve of mine is people that don't use their words and then they get sulky or they get bummed out that they didn't get to do what they wanted to do. We are all grown adults, unless you were my kids when they were underage, but now they're adults too. You have a right to say exactly what I say or pick whatever you want to do or do this. Don't feel like you have to be like, Oh, I didn't like that. I didn't want to go there. Why did you go there? Why did you agree when I suggested it? It's not like I have to do anything when I travel. There are some things I want to do, but if it's going to make my traveling partner uncomfortable, I can skip it. There are other times and other things to do for sure. I appreciate that question. And if you need more details, you just let me know, okay? I'm interested in you answering the same question for sure. Okay, Mr. Jason, of course, asked how the fundraiser went. We got through all the money today in terms of what was collected at the event. We have not went through all the ticket sales and we have not went through all of the expenses, but we're hoping by tomorrow, Wednesday at the latest to get a grand total. What I think though, as of right now, preliminary reports, I think we doubled what we made last year. So thank you. We had incredible sponsors. We had, I think, 5 new sponsors that we had not had before. So super cool. Loved it. It was super amazing. And I'm so grateful and thankful for that. Definitely something that makes me realize that the word is getting out there and people do want to learn and they do want to be a part of this. So super happy about that. Perfect room temperature. Guess what? I get super cold at night and then a couple hours into sleep and then I get super hot. I am not somebody that can have it super cold or super hot. I need it nice and comfortable. I need it Jackie style. And if not, then I throw on a jacket. And if it's bad, then I just leave the room. So there's always options there. Does anybody have an exact temperature you have to have a room? I don't know, because sometimes 72 feels one way in the winter and it feels one way in the summer. I think that's so interesting. Oh, I appreciate you guys. I do know that Mr. Gregory is in the back room with me, but I'm going to go through just a couple more things, see if I got any other questions. There's 1 or 2 more that I have that I want to make sure that we go and talk about. Let's see, someone not here as well. Oh, I don't even know what you're saying there, my friend. Oh, that's your soccer, I think, Gregory. I'm like, what does that stand for? Okay, remember, I'm from the 70s, so I don't remember all those acronyms right now. Let's see. Thank you, Jason. I appreciate your support. I appreciate Melissa's support. Let's see here. That's so funny. Studio 54. Guys, I actually even danced. Can you believe it? I mean, we didn't have much of this kind, but when we did, I was out there for sure. Okay. Oh, yes, Jason. I mean, talk about preaching to the choir. We are better together. I don't care what kind of race you are. I don't care what kind of socioeconomic status you have. I don't care what kind of degrees or lack of degrees you have. I don't care how many cars you got. If you're going to be supportive and safe, you are the people I want around. That is for sure. Oh, and we said hi to Dr. Roy. So glad that she was here. Okay, what is your favorite song to hype yourself up? So I'm really weird, Christy. I appreciate this question, but I get songs stuck. Like I go on repeat over and over and over with some songs. And so it depends on what kind of hype I want. There is times I can't have any music before I get hyped up about something. I need total quiet because my brain is busy nonstop all the time. My day job is loud. Everybody asking questions, whether through email or voices. And sometimes I just need a little bit of quiet before I boom get back out there. But there are some songs that I super love. There are some songs from Lady Gaga, and there's some stuff from Adele, and there's some stuff from, oh my gosh, how can I cannot remember their name? Oh, I do like me some Leonard Skinner, and I do like a couple other things that kind of I can listen to over and over. Some of you guys remember a month or so ago, I was in Toronto at the Stray Kids concert. Never thought I would understand a word of it or like it. I've actually been listening to some of their songs on repeat, and it kind of gets me going. So I encourage people, if there's always the same music that gets you going, try something new, okay? Try something different when you're in a different mindset or something, because your brain loves to have different stuff. I'm saying this out loud so I can remember it, because like I said, sometimes I just want to go over and over the same stuff. So that's always interested. What was the first book you remember reading? Oh my gosh, what made it stick for you? Guys, I read so much. Like I read so much as a kid. I can't remember. I think we talked about the Boxcar Children before. I can't remember if they were the first series I ever did, but they were definitely important in my life. And I don't know, maybe it's one of the reasons I wanted to work with kids on top of everything else that I had going on, because I knew they needed safe and supportive adults. Definitely got my love of reading going from my mom and my sister. We used to change books back and forth. I remember reading books this thick that no kid probably should be reading. because my mom said, hey, this one's good. If you're bored, go ahead and read it. I'm like, okay, why not? I did love Judy Blume. She was pretty much, my age, kind of like you had to read it. You just had to. Lots of good stuff, though, guys. Okay. If you guys have good books, I've got so many books I need to read, but right now I've been either just downloading or buying people that are friends of mine on LinkedIn's that are being authors or co-authors, or I'm only reading books from book club, and I kind of want to diversify a little bit. So if you guys have some suggestions, let me know. I would appreciate it. I love that it's your morning, but it's my night. Okay, let's see what Jay has to say. How did you go from short to long hair? Same for those classy and jazzy glasses. Guys, I bought me a whole different pair of glasses to wear with this outfit. And then, of course, I had to try on a couple other pair. And I had one of my coworkers say that these were the most 70s looking, even though my other ones were really fun. I'll post a picture with them at some point because I thought they were really funky. But she's like, yeah, funky was not necessarily the glass style in the 70s. So I'm like, okay, I'll just do this. So yeah, I tell you, it is interesting the comments you get of the people that both support and don't support you changing the way you look. Isn't it crazy how other people almost sometimes feel like you're impacting them if you look a certain way or you don't look a certain way or you are doing something that is different than what they expect from you. So I am one of those people that there's a lot of people that are just like, oh, Jackie, you'll do this, Jackie, you'll do that. And then they get to see another side of Jackie, kind of like William. I could have scared him off, but I didn't. So I love that. Okay, we are getting closer to some of these comments. Let's see here. Okay. Oh, and tomorrow is my sister's birthday, so that's kind of cool. She was at the event too. She was not able to go to the first year's event, so it meant a lot to me that she was there the other day. Fired it up. Yeah, I'm trying to fire it up, but I am sweating to death. You guys can probably see me glistening like crazy. It's funny because the room that I do the show in right now, it used to be my son's bedroom and now it's not. And I didn't realize how much hotter it is down here than the rest of my apartment. It's kind of wild, actually. All right, we got, oh, Gregory said he would want the 80s or the 90s. Good decades. Very good decades, Gregory. I would agree with you because I got to live through that. There was definitely some middle school, high school drama that I could do without, but you know what? You learn from all of that. You really do learn from all of that. Yeah, you do like the 50s stuff. I should bring my dress for you to try on. Let's see here. Okay, we got, I don't know if I'm missing anything. Emotional and fun. You got such a good memory, Gregory. Look at him. Look at him saying everything we didn't say yet. Okay. Let's see. It is going to be phenomenal. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let's see here. I'm getting close to you, Gregory. I'm getting really close. Oh, let's see here. Oh my gosh. Aw. Yeah, when they do that, that's kind of weird, isn't it? I love it. Okay, what is your travel plan? Girl, I am old, remember, Christy? I don't have playlists. I just go to YouTube and I overplay it, or if I'm home, I'll do the Amazon and try to get them to play, but I don't upgrade and pay the fee to get all that stuff. So don't really have one. Again, it depends on what I'm doing, what kind of music I'm on. It depends on if I have any service in the car that gives me any kind of music. I love me some hair metal sometimes, guys. You know, it's something that I kind of do every now and then. Oh, Miss Leslie's in the house. Okay, I have not seen her comment, but Jason says she is, so I'm super happy for that. Oh, I like you guys are putting your temperatures, but man, Aaron, I just can't calculate this whole Celsius right now because, and I appreciate you doing it for me by putting Fahrenheit. Guys, I did numbers all day today. Whew, whew, so interesting. Me and numbers. Do I sing in the car? Yeah. Not with people in it, just because my senses are over and distracted, so you have nothing to worry about. But there are times that I will, especially if I'm like trying to get to someplace I'm excited about. If I'm just going to work, I'm not singing nothing. You know, even though I'm excited to do good work when I get there, it's not like I'm like, I mean, I got an 8-minute drive, so it's not like there's a lot of time to get into it anyways. Let's see. Okay, what is one perk you look forward to on a trip? Like zone boarding or MT. Oh, I actually love it when I get upgraded to first class. It hasn't been happening as much lately, but I was there for a while. I was on a streak, so I am never going to pay for first class, guys. Definitely won't do that. But if my little travel card ends up upgrading me, I am all about that. So definitely that is my favorite. I also like it, like having the TSA because um, my airport is super small that I generally fly out unless I drive to Chicago if it's like a really big destination. My local airport, it's an international airport, but it's super small. Like the most I've ever had to wait is for like maybe 15 people, 20 at the max. Um, and then you go to other towns and you're just like, oh, I can get through that airport super easy, right? No, you can't. You can't. You need to budget a lot of time if you don't, because it can be crazy. Hey, we got some Egypt in the house that is watching from YouTube. Thank you so much. I'm super happy to there. Gregory, thank you for saying happy birthday to my sister. I appreciate that. We're getting close. Hair night with creators. I love that, Aaron. That sounds great. That sounds great. Okay, we're getting close. We are getting close. Remember, there is the link if you're on LinkedIn, if you want to come join the stage. It's to ask a question that either you really want to know or something that you think is important for other people to go. I did send Gregory a message and said, no sports questions. He knows way more about sports than I do. I just won't have any kind of an answer. Okay, 68 for you. Good. Okay, good. All right. So, other questions that I had somebody message me about why do I present or why am I presenting in the Work-Life Balance Summit? So that's coming up in October. It's with Damian Kinsey and Dr. Tanya. Make sure to check them out. I present in the Work-Life Balance for a couple of things. First of all, guys, I got a lot of lived experience and I wish some people knew what I know now a whole bunch younger than when I learned it. So I like to share some of that, but also I love learning from all the other presenters there. So it's one of the only times you can go to a conference and have subjects that are so different than another. And you can be being presented to by somebody in one country 1 minute and the next minute they're from another country. And it's really great to get your perspective. If you know me well, I don't love using that word expert at all. I think that changes our mindset on how we open ourselves up to new information. And so for me, I'm a forever learner. Give me all the information. And I might or might not follow your directions, but I definitely am going to listen and hopefully learn from it or learn something I can share with somebody else. So that's why I do the Work-Life Balance Summit. And then I have somebody had asked, how do you sign up as a guest for Just Jax? That's a pretty easy one, guys. You send me a message. Now, if you send it in LinkedIn DMs, I can't guarantee when I'm going to respond because I get so much spam in there, like literal 5, 6 messages from the same person trying to pitch me something and I haven't even responded. It makes everybody else that I really want to talk to, their messages go away. And so I apologize that I just don't respond all the time. But it's super easy. If you can put a comment in any of the Just Jax episodes, if I do a post, even if it doesn't say anything about being a speaker or coming up on stage with me, just put a message in a comment on a post I make. Those automatically alert me, and then I will send you a private message. Then I know to be looking out for your specific name. You won't get lost in those hundreds of people that just are trying to sell me the same thing every other person is doing. And I'm not trying to bash people for their work model, but it doesn't work for me. I need an authentic friendship with somebody. I need to know that you're a real live human and I'm not talking to your bot or your AI person or somebody that is ghostwriting for you. So please make sure that you actually connect with me on an actual personal level. Then just put something in the comments and I'm golden, guys. I want to get people out there. You don't have to have a special background. You don't have to have this special this or that. Anybody has a story to tell. If you come up on stage, I'm going to ask you 3 questions. I ask them to everybody. What are 2 things that you're proud of? What is 1 thing you're still working on? And if you could travel anywhere right now, where would you go? And then the rest is either there are questions from people in the audience or it is stuff that you want to share. So my dear friend Gregory is in backstage. He is the only one that's taking me up so far on coming on and asking a question. And if you know Gregory, boy, he can hit it hard and he can try to turn one question into a whole bunch. So we're going to see what he has. Are you ready, Gregory? Because I'm ready to bring you up. Here he comes, guys. Hello, my friend. How are you?
Uh,
Good.
Maverick,
You're a little difficult to hear tonight. Is your mic close enough to you today?
can you hear me now?
A little bit, but you're still kind of distant for me.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you, but it's just it's not your normal voice. So we're just going to try to listen really good for you.
Hear me now.
Yes, that's much better. Thank you.
I had to use the radio. I had to use the radio voice. Okay.
There you go.
Yeah. So you're closer to Chicago than Detroit? Wow, I didn't know that.
So if you factor in all the Chicago traffic and construction, it's a little longer to drive to Chicago. The quickest I've ever gotten to Chicago is like 3.5 hours, but usually it's 4 to 4.5. But I took the train a couple weeks ago and that was only 3 hours. If I drive to Detroit, it's somewhere around 3 hours, depends on what part of Detroit I go into. And again, if there's any construction or not. So Detroit's a little bit closer, but the airline deals are usually better in Chicago.
Okay. So if I was in Detroit or in the land of the paw, yeah, what should I what should I see in your state basically?
So if you were in the thumb, I would say, don't know, go down to Detroit. But if you decide to jump across the thumb and go all the way to the pinky, that's where I am. And I can tell you 5 million beautiful things to do, especially during the spring and the summer. The fall is pretty cool too. It depends on if you like the outdoors. It depends on if you like to get hot because we get really hot here too. But guys, we have the beautiful Lake Michigan literally 10, 12 minutes away from whether where I live or where I work. And people that have never seen a Great Lake, they tend to think like, yeah, it's just another lake. It's just a little bigger, right? No, they should be called mini oceans. They don't have salt, they don't have sharks, but you can't see across them. They go on forever. It's so spectacular. And Gregory, there's just something about being able to sit and look at water. It just changes some of your brain chemistry. And then if you see the sunrise or you see the sunset over it, or even if you go when it's really late at night and it's like a full moon or a pretty bright moon, it's like you don't think about the hustle and bustle of our day jobs and all the stress we have and the bills we got to pay and all the people that don't want to hire people and all this other kind of stuff. So it actually is pretty therapeutic to me. I am definitely a water source person. So I appreciate you asking that. So I can't blame Michigan for having winter. Okay. I have lived in Michigan my whole life. I
Hey,
have,
why are um, we're in the we're in the mid west here. You're preaching the choir. We
yeah,
basically can get around we can get like 30 centimeters of snow like
yeah.
pretty
It can get crazy here too because I'm so close to Lake Michigan. There's like about a 20-mile pocket around Lake Michigan where I live that is called like snow effect or winter effect. And so in that 20-mile radius where I live and work, um, it can either be so much more snow or the snow can like skip over you. Same thing with rain. It can be raining literally on one side of the street and you get to that divider line and it's not raining. It's the wildest thing. So there is so much beauty up here during the winter. It's just not my favorite, especially the older I get. I don't want to bundle up a whole bunch. So it's just not my thing, but it's beautiful when it first comes down, isn't it, Gregory?
oh yeah, that's what you call lake effect snow. I have learned that basically. I know I'm not supposed to bring sports stuff, but the the sports team that has Josh Allen as the quarterback, the Buffalo Bills,
Okay.
that's how they get the lake effect snow. That's why they get like 20 centimeters of snow like that, and they have to basically shovel out their stadium when that actually happened. It happened in the last two home game home last two playoff seasons when they have a home game at the at that stadium per se. So,
Okay. So you're losing me again because when I hear sports, I'm like, whoo.
no, no, no.
So let's get back to a question. Give me one more question,
I'm just
Gregory.
telling you the ramifications of lake effect snow. So yeah.
Yeah.
So that means in terms of TV, so that means you get basically a lot of WGN content over WDIV for Detroit content, basically
Um,
originally?
no, I don't really get Detroit stuff. I also don't watch the TV though, Gregory. I don't. That's something some people don't realize about me is I never turn my TV on to turn my TV on. If I have somebody over that wants to watch a show, or if sometimes I've watched like I don't know if you guys do this, but every once in a while I will connect with somebody that doesn't live around here, or maybe they live around here but they're sick or they can't get out or something, and they're like, I really want to watch this show, but I don't want to watch it alone. So we'll both turn it on our devices and we'll kind of like text back and forth, but we're in different locations. That's like the only time I turn my TV on, but I only turn it on for like one of the streaming channels that I have, and I only have two that are super cheap. So I don't even have the big stuff anymore. So when we do stuff, basically anybody I tell I'm from Michigan, they almost 99% of the time think I live in Detroit. It's like that's the only thing people think of. Detroit, unfortunately, used to have a really bad image. I mean, Detroit is beautiful. There is so much history there. There's so much amazing families that have just accomplished so much, living through so much different issues with that city. Um, it's just like every place, guys. It's just like every place. You got to try to treat people nice, and hopefully they treat you nice back. And then we don't have as much crime or as much violence, and it will get better and better. But guys, Michigan has so much other beauty, but we are one of the only states, other than like Maine, I think other than Maine and technically Florida, we are landlocked. Okay, so when you get up into Michigan, there's no other state you can get to. There's Great Lakes on each side and above us, so you can definitely go over a bridge or a tunnel, but it's not like you're just driving through Iowa. You're driving through Kentucky to get to other places, and so like people that drive like over the road trucks and stuff, they're like, oh, gotta go to Michigan, man, and then you got to travel the exact same roads to come back after you drop off your load or something. But it's beautiful here. I have lived here my whole life. I would love to leave always in the winter if I could ever do that, but I don't see that in my future anytime soon. Gregory, any one last question for you? Because there's a couple other I need to get to, my friend.
No, just want to keep you company, Miss Maverick. Just
I appreciate that. You want to tell them why you're calling me Maverick tonight?
yeah, because the Shades is basically an ode to Top Gun in the way.
No, no. What did you say in my message earlier today?
Let me just check.
You said you'd be my goose to my Maverick or something if I needed somebody to help you out tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, because I'm thinking, now you know, because now you wore the shades. I'm thinking that's like Top Gun, like shades for you have there going on here. So that's why I'm thinking. That's why I'm calling you Maverick. So it basically completed the process, basically. So
I appreciate you so much. Gregory, I'm going to drop you down, but I'm not going to take you out of the green room. So I'll bring you back up in a few minutes. Okay.
that's okay.
Thank you, my friend. If you have to go, though, feel free. Okay. I'll see you.
I'll be here.
Noah, guess what? I am ashamed to admit this. I have never watched The Office. I know it's horrible. It's horrible. One of these days, I promise, one of these days, somebody maybe if I win the lottery and I can just sit around all day, but tell me, okay, my brain needs a break. I mean, some people, their break is watching TV or falling asleep to TV or something. And it's like, me, I just want it quiet. It's kind of wild. Erin, thank you for shouting out my YouTube channel. I appreciate that. It's growing, but man, it's a slow process. Christy, I appreciate you so much. Ha! Look at Erin, epic band. Chicago used to be one of my favorite bands because they played a couple songs during like the Karate Kid movies and stuff. Oh, that was 80s, guys, and that was early 90s and stuff. And some of those songs just like got you in all your feels. I love that so much. Mr. Damien is in the house. I'm so thankful he is able to make it. He is a busy guy. Let's see what he has to say. Oh, it's getting darker in here because the sun's totally gone. Let me see if I can even read with these shades on. What is the best or memorable advice you received when starting your career? Oh my gosh. Okay, guys, I've been around a long time, so some people will not believe that I can actually nail this answer. Okay. I was older than my colleague at the time by probably, gosh, what am I, like 5 years older than her, 6 years older than her? But I felt a lot older because I had already had a kid. But she was actually my supervisor. And I had been working maybe year and a half, 2 years with her, and she did these kind of cases, and I did these kind of cases. She mostly worked with some of the kids in the schools, and I worked with the kids in the court system. And she got another job. And I was, believe it or not, I was the quiet one back then. She would do all the talking in meetings, and then we would talk about it afterwards. And oh my gosh, she told me one time, which was really interesting. And it's probably why I was quiet in meetings, but she said, why is it when we're in meetings, people look at you even when I ask a question? They don't even look at me. They're always looking at you when and talking to you when they're answering. And I'm like, I don't even know what you're talking about. To me, it didn't make any sense. And then she's like, watch people in a room. And I guess I have one of those kind of like, oh, I'm not going to hurt you type of faces that when I'm in a training, usually the presenters, when they're scared to look at everybody in the room, they'll lock eyes with one or two people. Somehow I'm that person. I even try hiding behind people or sitting in the back sometime. But she had told me that. And so once she told me that, I was a lot more quiet. So I would try and just let her take the stage, let her get the information and bring it back to me because she was my supervisor. Well, she announced she was leaving, and I had 1, 2, 3 men that were kind of in charge of the program. And all these men were, sorry guys, but they were old enough to be my dad. And so it was intimidating. They had all been around the block for a while. They all had different ideas of the kind of work we should do with the kids in the courthouse, but yet they were letting these 2 younger women do this. And I sat with the 3 men. I don't remember if she was officially gone at this time or not, but it was really close. And the one guy, the guy that I knew the least, because I only saw him occasionally because he actually worked at the court. So he gave us the money and he made sure all of our reports were in time and everything. He was super intimidating, but he was such a wonderful guy. And I made some comment about how weird it was going to be without her because they didn't hire anybody right after her. It was just going to be me doing everything. And he looked at me, and he had these beady little eyes, and almost those eyes that can just look right into your soul. And I'm like, why is he staring at me? And he goes, Jackie, change can be a good thing. And that's all he said. Nothing against her at all. She was doing a great job. He was letting me know that it was time for me to change, take control, be in charge of the programs, grow the programs, do it my way, and adapt. Guys, that was the best advice I have ever got. Adapt, because change is the only thing constant in life. The only thing we know for sure is we are all going to die, and the world is going to change. Your day is going to change. Your family is going to change. Your neighbors are going to change. Your work is going to change. There's all kinds of change. And when you resist it, you're not true to yourself and you're having a lot more issues. So thank you again, Damien, for that question. Let's see. And then I still got to get to her question as well. So let me see about that. We have just about 10, 11 more minutes, guys. So if anybody else wants to get on stage, you got like a quick little second to talk. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry that was a little difficult. Let's see here. Night Rider, that's hilarious. Oh, that car, man. Kit car was the bomb. It was the bomb. I think that gave us a lot of expectation of the kind of cars we were going to drive, though, aren't you? Oh, Noah says it's his therapy. Yeah, my therapy is going traveling, but I don't get to do it all the time, so I need something else. Let's see. Does Melissa do office too? Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll have to figure that out and do that long distance watching at the same time if it's really worth what Noah's throwing down about that. Let's see. Okay. Oh, guys, it is getting harder and harder to read. This is so funny. Let's see. Oh, turn up my brightness. I don't even know how to do that. Do you know what I would do right now if I try to hit some buttons and get my brightness up? I think it's on this side, but I thought it was kind of up. And Miss Dr. Tanya's here. Dr. Tanya, I did have a question earlier about why I present at the Work-Life Balance Summit. So I did share why I do that. So if anybody wants to reach out to Dr. Tanya for more information, you feel free to. You know me and my crazy sunglasses. I do. We should have a competition sometime about our sunglasses. I appreciate that. Okay, let's see. Thank you for sharing. Okay, let's see where we got right here. No, it's a long one. If you're looking for an inexpensive mic for guest appearances, like the help, check out the okay, it's word. Okay, so that's just plug in. So I have one of those too. You guys can hear me okay though, right? That's not an issue, I don't think. I hope not. Okay. Let's see. We watch yours. You're funny. Okay. And Christy, oh my gosh, look at The Office. I should be like getting some money off of The Office, right? Yeah, that'll never happen. But hey, what? It's all good. Oh, I just love that there's so many great people here. Guys, it has been 4 months of this show. Of course, I would answer your question, Damien. You're like my, gosh, you've been like my life force on LinkedIn. I would not be anywhere without you. And thank you for that. I appreciate you. All right, let's get back to her question. Natalie Thomas had asked last week, and we were talking about reentry and some of the work I do with my day job. And she had said, I can't bring it up because it was on last week's show, so I apologize, but I did take a screenshot of it, so I'm checking my phone a minute. She said, Jackie, what are your top 3 good things about your role? So, for those of you that don't know, I am the director, so I have to do the grants, I have to do the fundraising, I have to do the supervision, I have to do the paying the checks and bills and all that kind of stuff, reporting to my 11 member board. I have to do finance committee, I have to do executive committee, marketing committee. I have to be out there and be social, I have to go outreach, I have to do presentations, but I also carry a caseload. Okay. I carry a caseload of the most intense crimes that we get. So I usually, right now, I'm mostly only seeing kids that are charged with sex offenses or they have gun violations or they've been caught with a gun. And then I do all the groups still. So I actually run groups for both juveniles that are referred through the courts and adults that are referred through the courts. And one of my top 3 good things is that, gosh, in almost 22 years of doing this kind of work, I can honestly say I think I have only ever had to kick 2 people out of a group. I feel like people can tell my sincerity and they know that I'm not going to let them get away with anything, but I'm not going to talk bad to them and I'm not going to like tease them or anything. And I know when you see them, even when I do virtual groups, guys, it's like you can just see the change in their face when that aha moment happens, when they realize that I'm not just going to yell at them or tell them they were bad or dumb or anything like that. And that warms my heart because that shows me that they can open up and listen to other things. Another good thing about my job is that I get to see people that come in telling us, this person's never going to get along with me. This person's never going to change. This person is never going to agree to this or that. And they go to mediation or they go to one of our classes and they come out and they're literally talking to that person again. We've seen people sharing their contact information, hugging each other afterwards. Now, that doesn't happen all the time in a mediation, but it sometimes resolves all that emotional ick that they haven't had a chance to really get out. And that's a great thing. It's a great thing to see people learn from each other. My third good thing about the job or my role is that I get to let people know that they deserve to be safe. And there's a lot of people that don't understand that that's a reality for everybody. They think it's just for people that live over there or people that have that kind of a parent or that kind of an income. Guys, everybody deserves to be safe. And I am going to promote that all the time. And I appreciate that greatly. Then she said, subsequently, which is a very big word, what would you say are your top 3 insights you would like to share? Ooh, to spread more awareness. Okay, my first one, let me say, I would say be a kind human, okay? You don't know what people are struggling with. You don't know what kind of brain cognitive issues or mental illness they might be having. You don't know what kind of people have just tried to kick them down 2 minutes before you came up to them. Be kind. It's so easy. It's totally free and it makes you feel good inside. Another insight that I have is that we have to have hope for a better world. And that means our personal world, our family's worlds, our community worlds, and the greater world. If we just think everything sucks and everything's going to be evil and bad for the rest of the world, it's going to just eat us alive. It's just going to tear us down and we are going to wither and it's going to eat us up so much more than the people that try to stay positive. Now, I'm not saying don't protect yourself and don't be prepared for bad stuff. I am saying still have hope that there's good out there. And then my third insight, I think I would have to say is love yourself more. I don't think enough of us truly understand that we deserve to love ourselves first, and then it trickles out so much easier to everybody else. So those are my 3 things. I will go back and write those to her directly because I don't think she made it tonight, but I'm really glad that she's here. Let's see, some great. Okay, thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. And then you got my that. Okay. All right, guys. I don't know if I missed questions because I cannot check my I just can't check LinkedIn right now because other than what's popping up, and I know they hide so many things. They don't show you everybody's here and everything like that. I'm going to bring Gregory up for one last question or a comment, and then I'm going to send him off and close the show up because, guys, we've been talking for a while, and it's Monday. It's Tuesday morning for Sharito and a few others of you, and I want you to get back to kind of thinking about those 3 things that I just said about loving yourself more and taking care of having some hope and just doing kindness in the world. Think about those once we leave. And I appreciate if you guys want to follow up with me on that. All right, Gregory, come on up. One last question or a comment, my friend.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but it did get darker in your background. But we'll take the voice instead.
Yeah, the sun is coming down, 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 down.
Yeah.
Down, down, down. Yeah. So I will say, I will say this is so basically this setup that I just rigged right now. You could thank MAH Melissa and Houston for the suggestion. So I was just basically I just say, oh, okay, I'll just wing it as is, and it's worked perfectly. So Melissa and Houston, you're number 1. You're a lifesaver from the Apple State, Washington. So yeah. So my comment is, I will say I totally agree with what you just said in terms of treating people with the utmost respect and dignity and stuff, and that's why I will say that when I got my resume totally refreshed by a person by the name of Matthew who lives in the same country as I am, and I applaud him for this, and I said to him, and he says, "What's one superpower that you have?" And he says, "Being my authentic self and stuff, and stuff," and that got me my resume refreshed right off the top. We got it this weekend and just did the read, and it was perfectly done for me and stuff. And I gave him a glowing recommendation and made sure that the recommendation was good in terms of published, because that was my first time giving a recommendation to a person on LinkedIn, so I didn't want to screw it up, basically. So you only have one shot, basically. So in the words of Eminem, Detroit reference. So yeah.
I appreciate you, and I'm so glad that you were kind enough to give him a recommendation, and he was kind enough to help you. Thank you, Gregory. We'll see you soon, okay?
You're welcome.
Bye-bye. Oh, he's so great. I appreciate you so much, friend. So for those of you that joined later in the show, those of you that didn't get to see the beginning, I'm going to throw one more time up. The reason I'm in this getup, it's not because I had a huge power growth, and it's not because I needed to get my head even hotter, because this is super hot, but because we had a fundraiser for my work on Saturday, and it was through the decades. And look at those bell bottoms, guys. I was Disco Jackie from the 1970s. So that is why I did this getup today, because this wig is going in a box as soon as the show is over. I will not be wearing it anytime again soon, but I thought I'd trip you guys out because it was not another person on the stage for the whole show. I would have never dressed like this if it was somebody else, because when I have guests here, it's all about them. It is trying to hype them, get you to know them as a person, and then hear about their businesses or books or their job search or whatever else is out there for them. It's definitely important for them to be just promoted and hyped. And we learn different ways to be kind to other humans when we hear other people's stories and we learn from them. And it's so important to totally understand how to help other humans. And when you do it, it's the coolest thing. We actually help ourselves, guys. It's like this weird phenomenon. Like if you've never volunteered, like truly volunteered, not been forced to by the courts or forced to by your spouse or your friend, but you did it out of the goodness of your heart. You weren't doing it just to post a picture on Facebook. Look what I did. I'm helping the world. No, but you're doing it to really care about something. Oh, you just walk around as a different person. It fills your heart. It makes you realize that you are valued and you are connected to something bigger and better than you. So guys, I want you to care about yourself. I want you to be kind to others. I want you to realize your potential and to keep that hope going. I just appreciate you guys all so much. Calvin, I appreciate you coming in as well. For those of you that did not catch the full show, if you guys have never seen Just Jax before, if you guys want to be a guest, message me. Be prepared if it takes a minute in the DMs with LinkedIn. Otherwise, write in the comments, hey, message me. I want more information. Just Jackson guest every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So sometimes it's totally different for you guys. I am booked up only until August 11th. So guys, I have got plenty of room. I want people of all kinds of diverse voices. Sometimes we talk about way tougher topics than people expected. Sometimes we kind of do surface level, and that's okay. Be true to yourself and feel free to let me know if you would like to come on for anything to talk about. All right, I'm out of here. Thank you guys for being here. Thank you for all you do. Thank you for being so supportive. 4 months, guys. If you guys weren't in the comments, why would I be here? I appreciate you guys. Thank you. Take care. And I will see you guys without this long hair, possibly in a hot tub or a pool next Monday. We'll see what kind of Wi Fi we got down there. Thanks, guys. Appreciate you.